This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Yarra Valley, Australia. But before that, this video is brought to you by Farm Cat Jenkins and Richard Dower. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Yarra Valley, Australia map can be found at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Let me read you some of the description. Yarra Valley is a real valley based around the town of Yarra Glen, Victoria, Australia, on the banks of the winding Yarra River. This region is a popular tourist destination for its vineyards, golf courses, horse riding, unique chocolates, and variety of cheeses. You will start owning the Yarra Hill Restaurant and grapevines ready for harvest, including all the grape machinery to get started right away. You're also the greenskeeper at the 18-hole Yarra Valley Golf Course and all that needs to be mowed in order to keep the tourists happy. The Yarra Valley map includes custom Yarra Hill Restaurant and grape processing area, custom dairy with various new cheeses, custom chocolatier with various new chocolates, 2 custom cow pastures. We have a full 18-hole golf course, including all the grass maintenance machinery, 3 full fields of grapevines ready to pick. You also start with horses to be exercised at the horse racing track, as well as equestrian courses. This map includes a train sell point, grain elevator, BGA sawmill, bakery, carpentry, and much, much more. Let's go ahead and load on in. We are going to be using the mods we typically use when we take a look at maps. That is additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. Now, we'll tell you, if you load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find the main farm area is built out exactly how you see it here in new farm mode. There is an interesting exception. While you do start with 1 piece of starting machinery in farm manager and start from scratch, as compared to the full fleet of equipment that you have here in new farmer mode. And here we are in new farmer mode. We're on our grounds of our restaurant. You can overlook the Yarra Valley below here. And we got a really cool restaurant seating area in here. Look at that. And if we go this way, we'll be able to overlook our grape production, our grape processing, if you will. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map. We zoom on out. We're going to see we've got a lot of open green space here. A lot of open green space. Down here to the southwest, that's where our golf course is located. Our main starting area is farmland ID number 2. That is the main farm, as well as our field of grapevines. That is 26.84 acres in size and can be bought for $651,000. In addition, we own the 18-hole golf course, 71 acres in size, and is only $174,000 to buy. This map does include all the standard crops available to us in Farm Sim 22 as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. The farmland lease screen is going to show us all of the buyable farmlands, how large those farmlands are, if those farmlands include any field, what fields are included, and then lastly, how much is that farmland going to cost us. And then cross-reference that with the field calculator screen. And this is going to show us specifically how large each particular field is. And then let's go ahead and see how the generic soil map is being applied to these fields. You see the base game soil map here. Now, we do not have a soil map for field 1. That is where our grapevines are located. And that is because grapevines and olives really are not affected by precision farming at this time. If we go ahead and take a look at our crop counter, first glance you will say that, well, this is the standard crop counter available to us in Farm Sim 22, but hold your horses. Literally hold them up, because we've got something a little different here. Notice we are starting out in February, and that is the tail end of summer. So we have the months that have been adjusted to reflect the seasons of the Southern Hemisphere. So December, January, and February is summer, and January, July, and August is our winter. Take a look at our prices screen. You will see that we do have the ability to sell most of our base game crops, but sadly we do not have the ability to sell all of them because we do not have the ability to sell cotton. In addition to that, we also do not have the ability to sell wool. We do have the ability to sell our eggs and milk. In addition, we also have the ability to sell our silage, hay, straw, and grass. Taking a look down through the base game productions, we do indeed have the ability to sell all of the base game production items, which is always good to see. And then in addition to those base game production items, we have some custom production items. But before we get to those, you do have 2 buy points for bulk lime, and we do not have a place to sell stones. So if you do play with stones enabled, you will need to put down a stone crusher. Now, as far as our custom productions go, we have cheddar cheese, blue cheese, Swiss cheese, and Brie cheese. As far as our chocolates, we have dark chocolate, white chocolate, chocolate-coated strawberries, and chocolate-coated honeycombs. If you are looking to play with the Platinum expansion production items, though, be sure to put down your own sell point because we do not have the ability to sell any of the Platinum expansion production items here on this map. Then lastly, if you are playing with pumps and hoses, we do have the ability to sell our separated manure. Taking a look at our vehicle overview, there is one little thing that I do want to make sure everyone fully understands. While most of your equipment is owned, not all of it is owned. In fact, the Anderson RBM 2000 bale trailer, that bad boy is leased. So you will be incurring lease charges if you do not return that at the very start. So just be aware, if you notice your money going down and you don't really know why, you probably still have that bale trailer hanging around, eating up some lease charges. Other than that, everything else is owned and well maintained. We do start out with 4 horses over at the horse track. We do have contracts available on this map. This map does include the Grape processing production chain, which we do own at the start, and we do not have any collectibles available to us on this map. Let's go ahead and take a look at that starting fleet, and remember we do have the leased bale trailer. So that is leased, and we will be incurring lease charges associated with it. So do remember to get rid of that if you do not want to have those charges. With respect to our own machinery, we have the Landini Rex 4 120 GT small tractor. That's going to be used to get in between the vines. We've got the Fendt 714 Vario and the John Deere 7810 medium tractor. We have a John Deere 7R270, and this is a tractor that we own in all play modes. We've got our Broad 9070L Grape harvester. We have the Krone Big M 450 mower. We have a MC184 Manitou forklift, our 2017 pickup truck. We've got the Welder DK115 trailer. And then for our grapes, we have a pair of grape pruners. We have the Mercury 4000L grape sprayer for herbicide and liquid fertilizer. Then we have the MRWK 14500 grape trailer. We have the Amazon ZATS 3200 fertilizer spreader, the Fanex 904 tedder, as well as the Impress 185 VC Pro combo round baler and wrapper. Kind of interesting, we have a tedder, but no windrower. And then we round it all out with the MHAL 4320 35 flatbed trailer. Take a look at our mods and DLCs. You will see that there are no custom vehicles or machines included with this map. Now, as far as our our starting farm goes here, well, we've seen a little bit of a tour of the restaurant area. Just down from the restaurant, we have the Yarra Restaurant sell point, located right here. Then around the side of the restaurant, or the sell point, we have the Manor House. And the manor house is where we're going to find our sleep trigger. Right there. Then on the other side of this hill, we have our grapes. And quite the field of grapes we do have. Nice little parking lot here. We got traffic going. It looks like a really nice place to come to the evening and maybe catch the sun rise. I guess not in the evening. We have to come here in the morning because we are facing east with the restaurant. Now down on the lower side, we're gonna find we've got some storage sheds, and we have our grape processing facility. Now, as far as can the starting farm be customized? The answer is no. None of these buildings can be sold. So we're going to be giving the map a big old goose egg with respect to can the farms be customized, because all of this is permanent. Kind of makes sense that it is not sellable, but it all makes sense. But still, that is how we score things. And again, this is the tractor that's available in all play modes. We also are starting out with some bags of fertilizer. We have our pruner, our sprayer, and our harvester. Then while we're here, let's go ahead and talk about our production. So underneath the restaurant, we have our dump point for our grapes. We have our spawn point for our pallets. And we have our interactive icon here outside. Get a little bit of altitude so we can take a look around. There we have our restaurant below. Our farm area. We have our grape field. Grapevines. There. We got the Yarra River. Town area is off in the distance. Our horse track is also off in the distance over there. Let's go ahead and make our way, kind of following the Yarra River a little bit, over to the BGA. Now, down at the BGA, we have two large, three-sided silage bunkers. Those bunkers cannot be sold, nor can the BGA be sold, even if you own the land. And the land's not necessarily buyable unless you use a console command in order to do it. But you can buy the BGA. It is not going to be sellable. We have a shed here for our machinery for the BGA. We also have a grain sell point, and we have a lime buy point down here. If we take this road to the north, over to our right, we're going to have our dairy. And the dairy is where we're going to be making our custom cheeses. Then our dairy also, oddly enough, has kind of cattle gates. And we have two cow pastures down here in front of the dairy. Those triggers do not pop up until you own the land. So let me go ahead and pick that up. So after you've bought the farmland here for about $500,000, you have two open cow pastures. And each of these are going to hold 250 cows apiece. So we have our buy point, we have our water, we have our food, and then we have our milk trigger here. So we've got one there and the corresponding matching one over here. Then let's go ahead and come up here to our dairy. our cheese factory, I should say, and see what we're going to be able to make. So we'll be able to make butter and cheeses out of just milk. So butter, 15 milks into 13 butters. Regular cheese is 13 milks into 2 cheese. Cheddar cheese, 3 milks into 12 cheeses. 3 milks into 12 blue cheeses. 3 milks into 12 Swiss cheese. And 3 milks into 12 Brie cheeses. The only difference is we're going to have a little bit different cycles per month for the various cheeses. We have our dump point over here to the left. And we have our pallet spawn point around the back. We do have a train sell point off the map, and that is what that indicator is. Now we're coming over here to our golf course. And our golf course does have a sell point located right there. Then we have a nice mapping of all the golf course holes right there. All 18 of them. And then we're going to find a 3-bay garage, and this is where we're going to find all of our, well, golf course keeping equipment, including that leased bale trailer. Let's take a look at this golf course. We got people walking around, just chilling out. I guess now we need a mod that lets us swing a club and whack a ball. And there you go. Let's go ahead and follow the Yarra River into and over to the town area. To the left, we have our animal dealer. Oh, sorry. That's not our animal dealer. To the left, we have our sawmill. Our animal dealer is coming up, though. We have our sawmill. We have the train transfer station here and silo, as well as our lime buy point, our second lime buy point. In here town, we have our bakery right there. We have a maintenance bay right here. Farmer's market sell point. Mama Joe's Diner. We have then our vehicle dealer. We have our gas station. We have our carpentry area. We have our animal dealer. And then we have our racetrack for our horses. Complete with parking garage or parking lot. We have the horses. We've got the race track. We've got the equestrian riding course. We have our stands. And we even have Winner's Circle. Pretty cool setup there. Now up here on the hill, this is where we have our custom Chocolaterie. So we have our dump point, our pallet point, and then our interactive point around the front. And as far as chocolate production goes, for regular chocolate, we're going to need milk and sugar. For our dark chocolate, we're substituting butter and sugar. White chocolate is going to be milk, butter, and sugar. Chocolate-coated strawberries is milk, sugar, and strawberries. And chocolate-coated honeycomb is milk, sugar, and honey. We have our sugar mill located right here, conveniently by the Chocolaterie. And that is pretty much the map from an aerial standpoint. We've got a ton, like I said, a ton of kind of green open space as well. Let's make our way back here to our vehicle dealer, we'll jump in our Mahindra, kind of just drive around, see how things look from that perspective. So our vehicles spawn in right here, right by our carpentry parking lot, right by the road. Might be a little interesting for some larger things, taller things, longer things. And then around the side, we have our dealer maintenance trigger area. That is marked out. Do like to see those markings. It is indeed the dealer trigger, so we will indeed be able to customize, repair, sell, repaint, and trade our items in. Right across the street from the vehicle dealer, we have Mama Joe's Diner. And then we're going to run this way down to our Chocolaterie and sugar plant, then make our way back. So we have our carpentry, interactive point, wood cell trigger, all right there. Now I'm not seeing the markings for the pallet spawn point. So not really sure where those are going to spawn in at. Would like to see maybe a game update or map update that would reflect those. Here we have our animal dealer. So we have animal dealer dump point, sell point, and the animal dealer proper animal trigger right here. Watch out for those rough roads. Let's make our way up to our sugar mill and Chocolaterie. So we have an interactive point, pallet spawn point, and a dump station around back. And I already checked out the Chocolaterie, but I do like this setup, the parking lot. For the tourists. What is this? Is that like, I guess it's supposed to be like a menu of all their, a listing of all their products. So again, we have an interactive icon around the front, pallet spawn point, and dump point here at the back. Traffic seems to be moving on at a pretty good clip. So that is something to paying attention to. And the roads are a little rough. A little rough. I've noticed that a few spots where we hit quite a few bumps. Back here, the road is road in the train. Oh, we got quite the gap there. See here, I think maybe this will take us to our horse track. So with respect to production, I didn't say we have 8 productions already. We have the grape processing, BGA bakery, carpentry, dairy, sugar mill, Chocolaterie, and sawmill. So we already give the map a full point there with respect to production being built in or areas set aside for such. With respect to the ability to sell all of our basic crops, production items, and animal outputs, we're going to be giving the map 3/4 of a point here because we do not have the ability to sell cotton. We can grow cotton. It is available in the growth calendar and also available on the map if we are playing without the growth calendar enabled, but we cannot sell it, so we do not have that. We also do not have the ability to sell our wool. And that is where the 1/4 point is being taken out. Like this setup for the car parking lot. That's nice. So we have our horses here. So we have a food point, water point, and horse drop-off point. The map is going to get 0 points with respect to the farm being customizable because everything is built in. It's understandable for this map, but we're not changing our map scoring based on any one particular map's feature set. It's fine. It's fine. Just know you can't sell anything at the farm. With respect to abilities where appropriate are using the new texturing technique, I believe they are. I feel they are. I've looked at some of these custom buildings at the Yarra Hill Restaurant and Grape area, and as best as I could tell, they do look like they are paying attention kind of to the light angles and therefore casting shadows as one would expect. So here we have the train transfer yard. So we have our dump point. We have our fill pipe to take things off and on trailers. We have a lime buy point. And then at the train tracks, we do have our dump and fill point there. Let's make our way up to our sawmill. And here at the sawmill, we have our fill point for wood chips. We have our interactive icon at the door. We have our dump point and our wood cell trigger for our wood, and then our pallet spawn point. Kind of what we were missing over at the furniture factory, or the carpentry area. Let's make our way back down to the roundabout. Make our way down south, past the restaurant. You see our grapevines over here on the left. The manor house up on the hill. Here for the restaurant up on the hill. There's also grapevines on the farmland ID 5. I believe it's 5. That's where they have the 2 cow pastures. And we also have some more grapes that we can buy. So, if you're looking for a map to just kind of get started in grapes, this might be a good map for you because everything has already been placed, everything's already been purchased. It's kind of ready for you to just take and run with it. So our golf course, remember, is off that direction. We have our dairy for our cheese production. dump point, our interactive point, and pallet around the back. I don't know, it feels a little cheaty being able to make 4 types of cheese with just milk. Right? I feel like there should be other steps involved to go from regular cheese to cheddar cheese to Swiss cheese to blue cheese. I don't know how you make cheese, but I feel like there's probably something more involved than just milk. I have an interesting concept with the chocolate-covered honeycombs. I don't think I've ever seen those. That might be an Australian thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not cultured enough. Probably that's it. Then we have a grain sell point down here at the BGA. Around the side of that point, we have then the second lime buy station. And then we have the BGA itself. Now, with respect to our final scoring metric, play area interactive areas being clearly marked, there are a couple points that are not as clearly marked as I would like to see. So we are going to be taking off a little bit there as well. 3/4 of a point. So that's going to give this map a score of 3.5 out of 5. Now remember, it lost an entire point by having everything baked in at the farm area, at the restaurant and production area. It's understandable being baked in, but that's how we score things, so that's how we're going to do it. Now, I do know that we did not really go over the paintable textures, the foliage layers, anything like that. They're all basically fairly standard. There aren't a whole lot of custom things that are placeable on the map. There might be a few. I'm trying to just remember through my quick look at the map before recording, and nothing super stood out. Let me know, guys, what you all think down in the comment below. Or comments down in the comments below. What do you think of Yarra Valley, Australia? What do you think of this concept of kind of you're in charge of taking care of the grapes? What do you think this idea of having a full-on golf course on the map? Kind of like this idea of kind of, you're not at a farm as much as you're at a winery, right? You can start at a winery, or here at a restaurant that has grapes, and you're a caretaker of the grapes, kind of at this this point of business. Authorized vehicles only. Nice little detail there. Like I said, let me know down in the comments below. What do you all think? And until next time, happy farming.